this sick, disgusting, backwards Keir Starmer's Labour government labelling people protesting a genocide, the murder, the butchering, the massacring of children, and labelling them terrorists. This will never, ever, ever be forgotten. Keir Starmer, David Lammy, Yvette Cooper will be forever damned. This Labour government will be forever damned. This is not terrorism. That's not terrorism. That is not terrorism. That is not terrorism. It's not. And they've been arrested under these stinking, rotten, backwards laws. It's not terrorism. That's not, these are, look at them. Look at them. The elderly, what the hell? That's terrorism. Children murdered, massacred in the middle of a genocide, starving to death, queuing for food. That's terrorism. And Britain and Keir Starmer, they support that. They're an ally of Israel and America. They're underneath a statue of Nelson Mandela. At least 7 Palestinians killed, over 40 injured. That's terrorism. There's a little kiddie there on a slab in a hospital. That's not terrorism. That little kid, the 10 children, that's terrorism. That's terrorism. Every single child in Gaza needs mental health support. That's terrorism. They should be arrested. Keir Starmer should be arrested. David Lammy, Yvette Cooper, for supporting Israel. 67 children starved to death in Gaza. 28 Palestinian children killed in airstrikes in Gaza. Every single day there's a massacre. There's so many massacres. The Israeli politicians are saying nobody cares. Cold, sick and traumatized. The ongoing treatment nightmare for children in Gaza. That's terrorism. Israel is burning Gaza's children and the world lets it happen. Not only does the world let it happen, Keir Starmer's Labour government are labelling people protesting against it as terrorists. How backwards, how sick, how depraved is that? 42 people have been arrested in London today during a protest against government's decision to designate the organisation Palestine Action as a terrorist group. Protesters were holding placards near the Nelson Mandela statue, the same Nelson Mandela who was called a terrorist. That's on the news. Yet more graphic images of dead children in Gaza. The youngsters were killed when Israeli forces attacked a water truck in Al-Shifa, a water truck. The kids were what? UNICEF has said 65 to 70% of Gaza's entire water system is damaged. Most rely on water trucks. And people protesting, you call them terrorists. That's terrorism. He's the terrorist. Him. Israel has the right to withhold water. That is terrorism. Genocide, massacres. The people who are being arrested are sitting carrying placards that say, I oppose genocide, I support Palestine Action. They were sitting by the statue of Nelson Mandela, who many in the West called a terrorist, including Thatcher, was on the US terrorism watch list till 2008. It's a report there from Sky News. It was lots of mostly middle-aged, often elderly people sitting around holding placards that say, I oppose genocide, I support Palestine Action. This was about making the point that this clearly peaceful action, that this is a clearly peaceful action and is now labelled as terrorism.